Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris and I am your host. When we went to break, we were chatting about a number of things, about George's illustrious career in the news media. And George, while I have you here, again, this is George Strait, former reporter with ABC News. ABC News, you know, big ABC. Let's talk about for a moment how important is it to have coverage of blacks in the media?
Well, if you're talking about the coverage of black issues
in the media, not black killings in the media,
right.
but black issues in the media. Well, we get a lot of that killing stuff. We want the good stuff.
Well, all of it needs to be covered. And whether it's something that happens that's tragic or something that happens that's wonderful. America is a diverse land, and despite all of the pushback now, you often wonder, with all this pushback, what are white people so afraid of? But if we're going to reflect what goes on any given day, then all parts of our society need to be represented. Mm-hmm. And if you're running a business, which is what the news media is, it's a business, you would think that you would want, representation from all of your customers.
Well, that's true, but why isn't that there in many instances?
Well, in many instances, because there aren't enough people who are in positions of saying, this needs to be covered, that needs to be covered. There aren't enough folks on camera and behind the camera. Now, CBS and ABC now have black presidents of the news division. Let's see.
Has that made a difference? Women.
Let's see. They're new.
Oh, okay. They're new. Okay.
I suspect that it will. But still, it's interesting that in the history of the three network newscasts, and I don't discount cable, CNN, and MSNBC, but they only have, I think the number one rated one on Fox only has like 2 million viewers, whereas on World News Tonight and with Lester Holt and all the rest, and the other one, they get 5 to 8 million people. So they still are, from a demographic and a pure audience point of view, they're the most important. There have only been 2 African American anchors. Only 2.
Name them.
Lester Holt is on now.
Yeah, he's on now.
And Max Robinson.
Oh, yeah, I remember Max Robinson.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I knew his brother, Randall Robinson.
Randall, that's right.
Who's a lawyer.
That's right, in D.C. And is it because my goodness, there aren't enough talented people to have been on? I mean, what possibly could be the reason that there have only been 2? And now, sure, they put us on the weekends. And they'll put us on the parts of the day when not as many people watch. But it's almost like, for years there weren't any black quarterbacks in the NFL because they couldn't represent the team.
Well, what is the NFL has 1 black coach?
They just hired one yesterday. So
they hired 1 yesterday.
And now have 2, right. So,
and 70% of the players are black. Now, can you explain that? Not that you have to, or that you can.
Yeah, right. But I think we all know the reason. These big corporations have difficulty saying somebody who looks like you and me should represent my organization. That's what it means to be the quarterback, or that's what it means to be the anchor man or the anchor woman. I mean, there have never been any black women, ever.
That's true.
To anchor a network news program.
That is
really?
true.
And
speaking of that, there's never been a black woman on the United States Supreme Court, and there's an opportunity now.
But there will be.
But the Republicans are raising hell about that. Why are they doing that, George?
My goodness.
Is it because black women ain't qualified?
How could that be? I mean, there will be a black woman. The Republicans are going to...
They're going to have a heart attack, but it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because that's the only choice that they will have.
That's a good thing.
Isn't it?
It's about time, because I know some of the smartest black women. It's just awesome. They could walk over these white men that own the Supreme Court.
You know, the state of our country is where it is as it has been essentially run by white men. So let's see how the country could be if black women were in charge.
And we know, and we're gonna have to go to break, but we know that these white men that have run this nation since its beginning have been able to run it solely because they've been able to exclude potential competition.
Right.
And man, if we could do that, we would be stars. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and my guest is George Strait. We'll be right back.